My name's Wayne Fitzsimmons and I'm part of the core crowd hair and makeup team for Bridgerton. We've just done a full-on morning, getting over 200 essays ready for today. Speed and time is definitely a thing that you've got to constantly have in the back of your head and checking your watch. There's a certain amount of time per person. I think on this it's an hour and a half, but we have to complete the full look. So that's from putting rollers in their hair, prepping the hair for the style, having the hair pieces that we incorporate into the style, doing the full makeup, and then dressing the hair out on top, and then they go to costume after we've finished with them. This morning wasn't as early as it can be. I hate when the alarm has to go off at 3 o'clock, which can happen quite a few times. But this morning the alarm went off at about 7:15, and then the minibus was picking us up from the hotel at 7:30. And the first bunch of people are in the chair with all of us at 8:30. So we always need to know what time the first group of artists are in the chair for hair and makeup. This is my space, this is where I'll be while we're in this location. So all my stuff is ready, I know where it is. My hot rollers would have been turned on by some of the trainees. So basically when I arrive, I'm ready to go. I've labelled things, I've got green ribbon on these, so these better not go missing. And you have to keep on top of it, so like this is my dirty brush little bowl here to clean. You can never use a brush on a person more than once without it being cleaned. It's health and hygiene. These all have to be cleaned before I use them on anyone else now. You've got the sheet with their pictures that were taken in the fittings and a breakdown of the hairstyle, and then you have to stick to that. I mean, I have had some supporting artists sit in the chair and say, oh, I don't really like this style, it doesn't really suit me. And you go, well, this is a period and that's what you got to have, so tough luck. Costume provide any kind of crowns or hair accessories. That has to tie in with the style as well and fit in with the structure and formation of the hairstyle. Like you can see here, I'm making a lace front wig into a hard front wig. You know, this is all to do with sewing and adding wire to give a structure to the wig, and then we'll be knotting individual hairs that I've got here into the front of the wig for one of the ladies in waiting.
Hair and makeup really helps to tell a story. You know, whether it be because they've been beaten up and they've got cuts and burns and scars or something like that, or just bringing out their personality through their hair. In Regency times, one of the looks was cropped hair and a mullet. Eloise, she's a very free-thinking girl. She's not interested in being, you know, going to the balls with her sister. She just wants to read books and doesn't really want to get married. I just thought it was a very modern haircut, even though they had them at the time. She just looks amazing with it. This period is very Grecian. The Regency period came out of wearing all the big powdered wigs. In fact, people had worn wigs for hundreds of years. And then all of a sudden they introduced this thing called the powder tax, where they taxed the powder that went on the wigs. All of a sudden the fashions changed, as they do. People stopped wearing wigs because people were like, we can't afford it. Apart from really, really wealthy people like the Queen we have in this story. The Queen always has a powdered wig. Every block we would start, we would get a look at the costume designs, and then we would form an idea for which wigs to go with which costumes. So then we would tie out the colours of our wigs in with the colour of the costumes.
There's certain criteria that you have to tick. So movement within the style, curls, texture. I come from a hairdressing background as well. I've trained as a hairdresser, so I'm used to people coming into the salon and getting to know them, asking them where they're going on holiday this year and all of that rubbish. I've worked with people who don't really like people, which I think is quite weird. I like meeting new people, interacting. I think it's really important that they feel secure and confident when they're in your chair. take care of? My mom was a hairdresser, so I grew up with her hairdressing at home. So I was kind of cutting hair from about 14. I went to drama school for 3 years, and then in between performing jobs, I've always done wig work in shows within the West End. So I worked on Phantom of the Opera quite a lot, and I learnt a lot on that show, creating all these different styles and making people feel good and ready to go on stage. I get such a buzz from it. I feel on this at the minute, I'm just learning something new every single day. Certain films, I'm not even going to name them, but I didn't enjoy very much because I wasn't happy with the wig work or the makeup work. I do find that quite tricky to actually turn off and just enjoy the film or the programme without kind of technically looking at it and going, that's not right, or continuity's not right, or scrutinise wig work and how a wig's been put on and if I agree with that and if it looks good or not. Yeah, I kind of have to switch that part of my brain off and just sit back and enjoy sometimes. I am friends with the designer on this. I worked with him years ago on Guys and Dolls in the West End. I can't thank him enough for offering me this job. It's kind of life-changing for me. It's a big career move, and I think being a nice person, getting on with people, doing your job properly, being on time, and people want to work with good people. You'll go far, I think, if you behave like that and, you know, work by those kind of foundations.